Thanks for starting your week with us. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break. I'm Handan in Seoul. We begin in Laos, where the ASEAN Regional Forum is taking place. Chinese Foreign Minister has made some very strong complaints about Seoul and Washington's decision to station the THAAD missile defense system in South Korea. South Korean Foreign Minister, in response, has explained why the U.S. missile system is vital to South Korea's national security. Our Kwon So-ah in Laos with more on the diplomatic tension.
China has come down hard on South Korea. On the sidelines of the security meetings being held in Laos this week, Beijing's top diplomat Wang Yi told Seoul's Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se that South Korea has put a dent in their relationship.
South Korea's recent behavior has inflicted harm on the long-standing basis of mutual trust.
Minister Wang said South Korea was the one who proposed the meeting and he agreed to it, saying that given their friendship, communication has to be maintained. He added that he wants to hear from the Korean side what actions it'll take to protect the relationship. This statement comes on the heels of the South Korea-U.S. decision to deploy the U.S. missile defense system THAAD to South Korea, to which China has expressed its opposition on numerous occasions, saying it harms their strategic and security interests. When reporters asked Minister Wang whether the THAAD issue had been discussed, he said, "Of course." Seoul's top diplomat said despite some difficulties between the two countries, their close relationship has been maintained based on the trust between the two governments and relationships in the private sector.
The closer bilateral ties get, there can be many challenges. Because of the deep foundation we have built, I don't think the challenges cannot be overcome.
According to a government official, Yoon explained to Wang the necessity of THAAD, saying it's the government's responsibility to protect the South Korean people. He was also said to have reassured Wang the system won't affect third countries in any way. While the ASEAN meetings are supposed to foster cooperation in the region and beyond, there are concerns that the remaining days in Laos could actually widen the gap in understanding between the two countries. Kwon So-ah, ARIRANG News, Vientiane.
Two more deadly events have been reported in Germany since Sunday, adding to the string of events that have disrupted Germany over the past week. Meanwhile, there's been a new development in the investigation into the shooting rampage in Munich last Friday. Hwang Ho-jun has the latest.
A 21-year-old Syrian migrant killed a woman with a machete in Heutlingen near Stuttgart in southwestern Germany on Sunday local time. The attack was said to have happened after an argument between the two, and local authorities are investigating this as a crime of passion. It's the second major act of violence carried out by a migrant in a week. On the same day, an explosion ripped through a local bar in Ansbach near Nuremberg, killing one person and injuring at least 11 others. There have been conflicting reports about the incident. The city's mayor was quoted as saying it was an explosive device, and the interior minister said it was a gas explosion. Neither attack has been linked to terrorism, but authorities are investigating. Meanwhile, the Munich police have arrested a 16-year-old Afghan friend of David Ali Sonboli, the 18-year-old German-Iranian gunman who killed 9 people at a Munich shopping center on Friday. According to a police statement, the 16-year-old has been detained on suspicion of being a possible tacit accomplice to the attack for knowing about the planned attack but failing to report it. Hwang Ho-jun, ARIRANG News.
The International Olympic Committee has announced that it won't completely ban Russian athletes from competing at the Rio Olympics, despite revelations of widespread doping. Instead, the IOC will leave it to the governing bodies for individual sports to decide whether to allow Russians to compete at the Games. Kim Mo-gyun tells us more.
IOC President Thomas Bach says the organization has set a high bar for Russian athletes to fulfill if they want to compete in the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. He said that in this way they have balanced, quote, the desire and need for collective responsibility versus the right to individual justice of every individual athlete.
Every human being is entitled to individual justice. There we have set the bar to the absolute limit for how Russian athletes can achieve to compete in Rio. All of them have to meet individually these number of very strict criteria we have established today.
The decision came after a 3-hour meeting of the IOC's executive board on Sunday, less than 2 weeks before the opening ceremony of the Rio Games set for August 5th. Boss said that Russian athletes competing in any of the 28 Summer Olympic sports must have a spotless drug testing record. He added that international sports federations will carry out an individual analysis of each athlete's anti-doping record and take into account only reliable international tests. In response to the IOC's announcement, Russian Sports Minister Vitaly Mutko said that he was very grateful. He also sought to reassure the public that the majority of the Russian national team will meet the criteria.
As for the International Olympic Committee decision, first of all, I'd like to say that in general, we're very grateful to the International Olympic Committee, to its executive committee, for today's decision of Russia's national team that was preparing to compete in Rio de Janeiro.
Russian athletes won 82 medals, 24 gold, 26 silver, and 32 bronze at the 2012 London Olympics, the third highest number of medals by any country competing at the Games. Kim Mo-gyan, ARIRANG News.
And that's all for now. Keep it tuned to ARIRANG for more domestic and global headlines throughout the day. Thank you for watching.